Hi everybody, today we are going to talk about the agriculture in Central America. We are going to interview the Dr. Freddy Arias. Doctor, I have some questions for you. The first one is, the first topic is the economic fragile. Uh, Among the factors like geography, weather, problem economic and macroeconomics, how do you consider has been affecting the most the agriculture sector in Central America?
Okay, good afternoon. Glad to talk to you about those important factors affecting the agricultural sector of Central America. As an economist, I believe that the most important factor affecting the agricultural sector is the economic condition. Let me explain a little bit what I mean by that. The problem in Central America is that there is a high concentrated market. Therefore, the producers face inequalities in terms of their commercialization of their products. And I believe that given this condition, the economic attractiveness of agriculture is not very high.
Hi, the another topic is vulnerability in Central America. Central America has been hiking vulnerability, and some factors that contribute of that is the change on climate, the weather, the geography, and another very important is the change in the land in the natural landscapes about the immigration in the people from the rural zone to the city. The question is, which are the possible reasons that this sector has not arisen significantly?
Okay, among those factors, I think the most important is the change of the weather, the climate change, because most of the agriculture in Central America is rain fed. I mean, it depends on the rain. If the rain season changes, then it will affect the crop productivity. That way, therefore, I think the factor has been affected the most in agricultural vulnerability has been the weather change.
Some countries has created institutions to help the area of agriculture, uh, help like information or teach people how to use new technology, or create new laws to help the sector of agriculture. Doctor, how do you perceive this effort created by the countries?
I think they are very important, even though recently, has been started recently. I think those efforts will have eventually an effect in the region. One of the most important factors that has been developing right now is the research. Right now, all the Central America region are coordinating research efforts toward cope with the climate change. Those, like for instance, creating a new species resistant to drought, those are, I think, conditions that will affect positively the agriculture eventually.
Okay, continue with the interview. Now we are going to talk about the rate of economic growth. In order to Japan, the GDP of countries of Central America has grown more than countries of the rest of Latin America. The question is, what happened with agriculture in Latin America that have deficits?
Well, the reason agriculture hasn't responded to the growth of the economic growth in the rest of the sectors is because agriculture in Central America is an activity of a small scale. Most of the farmers are very small. Therefore, growing is harder than, say, Brazil, where the farms are really large compared with Central America. So I think one of the factors why we're still facing deficiencies in Central America agriculture is the size of the farms. Among those, also we have to realize that most of the farmers, like 50% of the farmers in Central America, are um, are peasants, which are farmers whose main object is to uh, preserve their families, and they are less worried about the market. So it is hard for these farmers to change their economic conditions. So, in summary, the size of the farms and the peasant condition are the main factors why we still facing some deficiencies in the agricultural sector of Central America.
And the last question is, well, the topic is this. According with CEPAL, agriculture is more independent from USA than some years ago. The question is, what is your opinion about this?
Okay, in spite that the U.S. market is still the main market for our agricultural export, it is true that the markets of Central America has been diversified. Right now, we are exporting agricultural products to Europe and also places like China and Russia. So that condition, that diversification of the market will provide the farmers a more economic independence from the U.S. market.